Thursday, November 9th, about 9 o'clock in the morning for me. I am getting ready to finish up Noisevember. I've got 7 more jams left to go. Here on the table, I've got the one ready for the soft pop. And I'm going to do some more Bassel jams after this. I've mostly finished up the Pocket Operator. I have finished up the Pocket Operator. And I think I've mostly finished up the Volcas. Won't be doing any more of those. And once I get finished with these 7 jams today, I've got to finish these up today, hopefully before lunchtime. I'm going to start packing up a lot of the stuff. I want to point out one thing real quick. This is so wild. I finally got a really nice cable holder right when it's time to move, but that's okay. I honestly thought that I would be moving as soon as I set all of this stuff up. I really was hoping to be out of here in the summertime. It's already almost winter time, so this is long overdue. I will give more details as to what happened, why I'm leaving. Some of you already kind of know a few things, but you definitely don't know all the details. I'm hoping to get into that stuff. It's a little personal, and you know what? I'm not really into sharing personal information with strangers online. That's just me. You can do your own thing. So the first thing I'm going to work on is getting all the guitar pedals boxed up and ready to go, and then I'm going to come over here and work on the micro station. The soldering station, and get all of this packed up and moved out as well. I'm also going to list my taco pedals today. I was going to list them yesterday, but I wanted to make sure to get some good demos, videos for all of that up on YouTube. They're unlisted, as well as having good pictures. So I'm going to list those probably after I get finished with the Noisevember jams today. Today is Friday, November 10th. We did not pack a single thing yesterday. Didn't get anything over here on the electronics repair station packed up. None of that stuff. What we did do, however, is we finished up the Noisevember jams. We finished up all the incidental video footage that I'm going to add to that stuff. We also got my pedals listed. So now I'm going to get started and get packing. So the first thing I'm going to start doing is every guitar pedal and synthesizer, drum machine, and noisemaker that has a box that is not currently hooked up is getting packed away, and it's going to get carted off. Okay, making progress. I got my boxes for all my pedals out. Let's see, there's those over there. Then we've got, starting here, come around over here. Oh my, look at that. Crazy stack. Don't knock into that one. It's going to come tumbling over. And what I'm doing is I'm going through all of these bins that I have where I store all of my boxes. I've got all the boxes for my synthesizers over here too, at least the ones that came with boxes. Of course, I have some pedals that didn't come with boxes. I'll figure those out later, but for right now, what I'm doing is I'm getting everything put together. So you see, you got a whole bunch of different brands in here, and I'm trying to organize all the different brands into different piles, and I'm just going to go through and start filling them up and make sure that if they came with the power supply, it's really just the electro harmonics that do that. I've also got all of my power supplies ready to go when I pack them back into those boxes. And once I do all of that and get all of these stuffed back into their boxes, I'm going to start putting them back in these bins. And that's that. So all I can say is that I know you're going, wow, that's a lot of pedals. But what I'm trying to impress upon you right now is don't throw your boxes away. I don't know what to say, especially if you've got like synthesizers and nice key beds. There's certain boxes where you're just not going to get a more secure way to transport that device unless you actually get a professional road case built for it. And those cost like half as much as your keyboard, if not, more than that. But if you take it out on the road a lot, it's worth it. It's insurance. Okay, back to work. So 12 hours later, it may not look like much has been done, but I assure you, all of these boxes have now been stuffed with their respective pedals and, well, the respective pedal and the respective power supply unit, if applicable. And they've all mostly been coalesced into their groups by brand name. Got some stragglers here, and as you can see, all of those wall warts are pretty much accounted for now. So got some left over, but we'll get to those when the time comes. I'm pretty satisfied with all of this. First thing in the morning after I wake up and have a cup of coffee, this will all get boxed up. It won't take long to do that. And that's that for now. And there's all the guitar pedals with boxes. We're ready to go. Got a few synthesizers too, the stragglers, the Volcas, and some other stuff. Here we go. It is now Sunday, November 12th. I have until Friday to pack up all this stuff and get it ready to move. My dilemma right now is that I really want to do one more jam stream live today on Twitch. Doesn't matter what I do. Just throw something out there. Just do anything at all while I've got this stuff set up. And that's my plan. But I'm running out of time. I have a lot of busy days this week. I can't devote every day of this week to moving all of this stuff. Now, the good news is that I don't have to be out of this apartment by Friday or Saturday. I've still got a couple more weeks. But, now we've got Thanksgiving coming up. And I have a whole lot of personal things that are getting in the way right now. So that's so what I guess what I'm trying to say is right now, at this moment in time, it is 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. I should just go ahead, shut everything down, and start packing everything up right now. But it's very emotional. It really, really is. It breaks my heart to have to do that. If I knew that I was going to be setting it up somewhere else, I'd have no qualms, man. I'd just be yanking cables right now and getting ready to take it to a new place. But unfortunately, everything's getting packed away into storage indefinitely. And that's why it's really hard for me to do this. But do it I must, and do it I will. I will say, though, that I am going to sit on my laurels just for a little bit and try to make sure that my emotions are sound and strong and my resolve is strong. I'm talking crap right now. Anyways, I think you get my point. So that's the day for me going forward. What I do think that I will do, I'll go ahead, I'll make a compromise. Hello, Peppy. I'm going to go ahead and take down this stuff over the next couple hours. And then I'll worry about making some music with the rest of it over here. I might go ahead and get the ARP tucked away as well. And here's the bad news. Here's a number for you. Ready for this? 93 guitar pedals. That's how many guitar pedals I have that do not have their original boxes. So I'm thinking about, if I do sell guitar pedals, I'm going to start with those, I think. Because those are going to be problematic to move going forward. As for the rest of them, there's definitely, there's some I'm probably never going to get rid of them. Seriously. I'll keep them in my survival backpack as I'm trekking across the wasteland like Mad Max. Well, I'm taking down the synthesizers here, and let me tell you, this is very heartbreaking. I'm about to disassemble this Selena. And I can only confide or console myself by saying that I can set this particular thing back up where I'm going to. And that's probably what I'm going to do, is I'm going to definitely get the vocoder VC340, the MS1 that I just packed away, and the Selena set back up over here like this. I'm so sad. Maybe I can play a minor chord instead. How do I do this? Second. It's like even when you hit bad notes, it still sounds pretty good. Well, the deed has been done. I have packed away all of these things. Mostly still need to put the stands away. I do want to point out that I had this cheat sheet listed here so I know what MIDI channel every synthesizer and drum machine and sampler was assigned to. This helped out immensely. And next time I set this up, I will definitely use the same setup if I can. Real quick, I think I want to point out my micro jam station before we take it down. I don't think a lot of people quite understand the full thing, so if you're interested, this is for you. Congratulations. So everything connects into this first little Nady mixer, and this provides 8 mono inputs. These Nady mixers have a stereo or mono mode. This one is in mono mode, so I have 8 mono in. Its output, mono output, goes all the way to this zoom pedal. Mono in, stereo out, and then stereo out to this track right here. So now the way that this works in stereo mode is you've got a track, left, right, left on top, right on bottom, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right coming out. So I've got stereo out goes into chorus or flanger, which goes into stereo delay. These are all stereo pedals. And then finally, stereo reverb out. And I have a monitoring situation here. This pedal has headphones out, so I have the headphones out going to these speakers so I can listen to stuff over here without the main station behind me being turned on. However, because it's coming out of this pedal, I don't get to hear any reverb. Fun. Anyways, back to taking stuff apart. I did take down some other stuff. That TD3 is now here on the table. I'm going to do my jam with it. And this is just so, why did I do this? Oh yeah, because of the power. I took down a lot of power stuff, and rather than just trying to get more power to it, I decided to take it down to the table. Still got the Ferrofish on. I'm going to use this in my jam, I think, as well. And I still have the Drumatix TR06, which is a fantastic drum machine, by the way. The Modder X is not hooked up right now. It's just here because that's just a place for it to be. I could go ahead and disassemble these two, but I figured let's put this in the jam. And I went ahead and I took the strike fet down as well. This actually worked really well. I was using command strips on the wall here for those. And, I just kept thinking that one night I was going to hear a boom. I was going to come in here and see that one of them had fallen down. They never did. Okay, mission accomplished. I'm actually streaming right now. Maybe wondering, wait, if you're streaming, then who's manning the fort? Exactly. We're on autopilot for the moment. Hopefully you can hear me. This is just some crazy noise, turbulence that I got going on. And I'll try to get out of it and get the jam going back again. I think I'm going to upload this to YouTube. I might as well. The thing about Twitch is that they delete your streams after like a week or so. So I think it's a great idea to pop those over to YouTube. As we can see here, yes we are. We is streaming. We got 2 whole viewers, including myself. So yeah, the thing about Twitch, and of course YouTube as well, is you have to be a regular streamer. And I am not. I am irregular streamer. That is exactly what. Okay, I got to get back to work. Bye. It is now Monday, November the 13th. I'm fixing to take off for a quick gig. Actually, it's going to be an 8-hour gig. I think I'm going to be helping build an LED wall. I never know. Probably there will be a load-in. We'll unload a truck and get the wall built. And it will take, all day long, really. We'll have a lunch break. I'm hoping to go to one of my favorite lunch spots. Haven't been there in a long time. But what I'm getting at is behind me. Can't really see it right now. I can flip the camera around, but you saw it last night. All the string section has been taken down. I'm going to work on the rest of the stuff mostly tomorrow, and I've also got another gig tomorrow, but we'll talk about that when the day comes. I just uploaded today's Noisevember jam, and I'm currently uploading the Twitch stream that I uploaded, or whatever, stream last night, and I'm very, very glad that I did that. I mean, I feel so much better having done that. It is now Tuesday, November 14th. I made a little bit of progress this morning, taking down the micro jam station and all the cabling that was left behind from the string synthesizer section. Still got a few things left out, but for the most part, things are kind of put away so that I can use this space to put things into their boxes when I start taking down all the main stuff. Another thing I've done is I have cleared out the ADC section, as I want to call it. This is where I was taking the stereo out of my mixer into a compressor and then into the Scarlett Focusrite, which would then go to my computer behind me. And I would do that via USB cable. I would go along the floor. It's gone now, but the hookup was right there, so I could break the connection anytime I wanted to because I walk through this area all the time. So that was very important to me, is to make sure that I didn't trip on that and destroy things in the process. Very, very important. So what's next is I have to go to work today. It's what we call a 5-hour minimum. We could be there for the full 5 hours. We could be there for only 2 hours. I still get paid 5 hours even if so. Something tells me I might be there the full 5 hours today, though. We shall see. Hopefully they'll cut us early and I can get back here and get back to working on all this stuff tonight. I think what I really want to do tonight is start focusing on taking all this stuff down. Now, the thing that makes things problematic is where to put stuff. And already I misplaced my Witty remote Midi device. I found it. It was on that brown shelf right there. It's one of those things where you find something, you say, okay, this needs to be coalesced with these things. Oh, where did those things go? Oh, I got to go hunt. It is now Wednesday, November 15th. I have made great progress in this entire section over here. Things still seem quite unchanged, but trust me, lots of it has been done. Everything's been boxed up for the most part. I've got to figure out what to do with all the pedals that I have that don't have boxes. Next up, I'm going to start working on the 2600. I'm trying to figure out what to do with the rack that I bought. I don't think I have the box for it anymore. I might be able to put that rack in the box with the 2600. Maybe, we'll see. There might be enough space. And what I'm going to start doing as soon as I get that done, that's right, I'm just going to start going across the board. One thing I want to show you very quickly is check out this little area. This is where the zoom pedals and the mini chaos pads used to be. Down here, just sort of like more ancillary stuff. And you can see where all the cables that are kind of hanging below. Check out this whole area where I had 3 zoom pedals in this section, and that's all of the cables and power coming to it. And I did a little more section, a little more work on this section, and I still need to box up the Shure wireless mic. No problem. I'll probably get the Plankton Spice boxed up definitely today, as well as the Pico System 3. I've got the box for the Plankton Spice on here. Let's talk about the Plankton Spice for a second. I never really, I don't talk about this thing too much. It's pretty darn cool. So the Plankton Electronic Spice is a distortion. It has a bit crusher, a filter, and it has a lot of controls for modulating all this stuff. I think it's really great. It has the new tube technology, which I'm not so sure about, but there is a difference in tonality when I try the different distortion modes. All in all, I really like this thing. I don't want to get rid of it. Don't get any rid of this stuff. So in other news today, what I have to watch out for is my father is actually having hip surgery, and he's probably in surgery right now as we speak. I'm sure everything will be fine. My brother is there at the hospital now. I'm going to pick him up tomorrow. That's the plan. And if he's released this afternoon, I will drive there and pick him up and take him home this afternoon. So right now, I have just uploaded today's Noisevember Jam. I'm going to get to work. I'm probably going to have to take a trip to the Walmart and get some more bins in the meantime. And these guys are one of the most underrated synth makers out there. Cyclone Analogic out of France somewhere. These machines are absolutely fantastic. Once again, you got to keep them original boxes, yeah? It really, really pays off in the long run. Did Behringer copy Arturia's boxes? I think they did. To clean off all the dust before I pack them away, I've got this little paintbrush which works pretty well between the knobs and switches, and this really cool little USB battery charged vacuum cleaner. It's really nice. I also label all of my power supply units so I can get them back in the original box. And something else I got to watch out for is I'm going to have to use some Goo Gone to clean off this horrible masking tape that has gone wrong. Let's go ahead and address all the dust and filth that is accumulated behind here. I don't want to say it's because of my negligence. How am I supposed to get behind here and get to all this stuff on a regular basis? I don't know. I guess that is one flaw with setting things up the way that I have them. Perhaps next time I can figure some things out. I will say this. What I do want to do, well, first of all, I want more space. I really do. I hate to sound demanding and all that, and I'm not. I demand more space. No, seriously, I do want more space, and I want to be able to set things up a little bit differently next time. I want to set things up in like 4 different stations with 4 different sort of brain controllers. One of them, of course, will be the micro station. One will be more of the main rig, which will use the pyramid. But I want another one that's going to be controlled by the BeatStep Pro, and yet even another one that could be controlled by the Korg SQ64. Making some very good progress on this day. I'm about to take down the Behringers over here, these 2 towers. These rack stands are Moogs. I bought them because at the time Behringer still had not released their stands. They don't really fit. You can see right here, in case you're wondering, there's a mismatch with that lug and that hole. But otherwise, everything stands up very, very reasonably well. I use zip ties to keep them secured to the bottoms here. One thing I want to point out real quick, since we can look at it, is just the octopus spider web of Midi. This is what I called Midi Bus B. And for the most part, the only thing that was not on this side that was attached to Midi Bus B, Midi Bus A, you can see I have it labeled right there, A, was the TR09 over here. And the reason for that is I could run it separately from the rest of the stuff, and it could clock the DFAM, which has been boxed up. If I have said it once, I must have said it at least twice. Keep the original boxes. I wanted to get more of these 3D printed stands that I'm using, but unfortunately the person who made these doesn't sell them anymore. At least they didn't last time I checked. Perhaps they will. But I have 3 more Roland Boutiques that I could stack up like this if I had another set of stands. Lovely, lovely, filthy dust all over the place. Not sure how well this is picking it up. But yeah, this is what I'm talking about. What gets left behind after 2.5 years of not being really moved. Honestly, I think this apartment is a little more dusty than normal. So that's one of the reasons of 1,000 why I'm ready to get out of here. Okay, let's talk MIDI now that I have some of this stuff separated. This is the backbone of communication in my setup, MIDI-wise, which is pretty much 90% of what I do. RetroKits is the brand that I chose for a number of reasons. The compactness, the ease of use, the automatic switching. It's just really amazing what these things do. They're not cheap, but you get all the money and value out of these things. Okay, this is pretty complicated. I didn't come up with this immediately. This sort of evolved over a number of months and years even. It's really hard to begin. I don't want to start with the complicated USB stuff. I'd rather start with the simple 5-pin MIDI stuff. So we'll just talk about out for a second. So imagine the pyramid sequencer, which is what I use, is here. It has two 5-pin DIN MIDI out ports. So I designated those as B and A. And closest was B, which is kind of weird, but that's okay. And then over to the side was bus A. Now bus A serviced all of the Behringers, the Roland Boutiques, except for the TR-09 drum machine. It serviced the Korg EA1, ER1, the Microfreak. What else? The Subharmonicon, the Volca Kick. All of those came out of here with the help of some DIY MIDI hubs that I made myself linked together. These are 1in, 8 out through ports. So that takes care of MIDI bus A. MIDI bus B got a little bit more complicated. This had more odds and ends, things that I'm still disassembling over here. The Delta Sep A, the Mega FM, the AY3, which was over here, whatever else, blah, 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 blah. But what else this did was it had Bluetooth coming in and out. And this is where things get really kind of complicated. So the Bluetooth was relayed over to this WIDI pair, which went to the VC340. So this way I had a keyboard, a key bed that I could use to control any of the other synthesizers through the Scorp Pyramid. It was really, really, really nice. Now then, this port pretty much just handles the power. So power coming into here, 5 volts, and then from here, I've got power going to another 8 port, and this is where the Scorp Pyramid was connected to, is that 8 port USB hub, USB 3.0 hub. So this got data over to this RK006 unit. So Bluetooth in was also coming into this port, which is making it available to all of the USB ports as well. Really complicated, I know. So, and then this little guy over here, this other RK006, the data to it was coming out of this RK006 through just one of the regular MIDI ports, and had a very long cable stretched all the way over here, and this one was hanging over here. And this was great. This was for my micro jams. I had one side I had available 5 MIDI out, and on this side I had gate, CV, whatever I wanted to configure. It is now Thursday, November 16th, and wow, did we make some great progress yesterday. I am going to go to the hospital today to pick up my father and take him home, and I should be back here. I'm not really sure when, so I'm trying to make the most of this morning as much as I can and get as much packed up as I can, I guess, sort of. To be honest, I've been slacking a lot today. I'm really worn out from this week. We did make a lot of really good progress. I've still got the Hypnosis, the Lyra 8. I realized I don't think I have the original box for the Pyramid. I'll find something for it. The Pico System 3 and all the cables. I'm probably going to need to get some more bins for the cables. I think I'm going to try to get some of those really super heavy duty ones that are sort of like, built for outdoors. And that way they can handle the bulk weight of the cables. I don't want them to get too loaded down though. Hey, let's take a quick aside to do a sort of emotion check. So how am I feeling right now? To tell you the truth, I'm not feeling bad. I mentioned earlier the bittersweetness of all of this. This is kind of the sweet part. This part actually feels cathartically good to go through and to see what all that I had and to put everything back together. And you got to think about it for a second, right? Think about how much stuff there is. I mean, look at these PSU units that are just kind of hanging behind right here. Look at all these MIDI cables and these patch cables and all this stuff that's still around. You know, it's just there's so much stuff. And what ends up happening is that you have a synthesizer. It comes with accessories. You use those accessories in whatever way. Everybody gets separated from each other. And if you want to go to sell the unit, you know, that's how things get missing. And when you go to buy something, it's like, well, it doesn't include all the original accessories anymore. So this feels really good for me right now to have gone and to really everything. I've accounted for everything. And this is really awesome. So that's the sweet part of it. I feel really good about this. I'll feel a whole lot better once this all gets to a safe location. And then I'll feel even better when I get to my new place and set all this up again. It is now Friday, November 17th. I feel like I'm making some pretty good progress despite all the chaos that you see on this table. These are cables that I need to go through and organize, clean up, wrap up properly. But check this out. These are all the ones that I've already gone through and done thusly what I just said. This stack right here, this is all the cables that I made for myself. I don't know how many feet or meters that is right off the top of my head. I could maybe find out later. Let's take a look over here under the patch bay real quick. Look how neat and clean that is without everything being hooked up to it. I know a lot of people still don't understand. They don't quite have their head wrapped around a patch bay. I'll say this right now. The missing ingredient is that you need more cables. You're breaking a point in the middle of the path, so you need like 2 more cables, basically. And then this allows you to patch in anything you want. But that's the missing ingredient is having more cables. So that's a thing that you need to think about if you want to get a patch bay. You're going to have to buy or make more cables. Down there, that's all the power for all the rack-mounted compressors and mixers. As I said before, I'm just going to keep all of those attached and carefully move that to one of the seats in my car and buckle it in and transport it that way. The snakes, I'm going to clean them up and wrap them up. Here's a bunch of power stuff here. What I'm dealing with right now is check out this cable down here on the ground. I need to get this out. It goes all the way over to here. So I've got a few more things here. I had a very intricate power setup, and I haven't talked about this guy over here. Let's see if we can talk about that real fast. But in terms of power, I wanted it to be set up where I could turn everything off, but still have some things left on where they didn't need to be attached to the studio. So this is a really cool little idea. This is the main power coming out of the wall, and this is what was going to everything over here, the studio, everything. And what I can do is I can take a clamp multimeter like this, clamp it in here, and I can see how much current is being drawn. And that's how I knew I was roughly drawing about 4 up to maybe 5 amps total. Like if this amplifier was on, speakers were on, lights and cameras were on, maybe 5 amps total, which is, you know, not bad considering this is a home studio. So really though, the daunting thing I've got to start really getting ready to finish up today is all the loose odds and ends, man. I've got like 100 pedals that don't have boxes, but I do have lots of other boxes I can use. I'm just gonna have to figure that out. I've got all of the Bassel stuff right here that needs to be carefully boxed up as well, and all the stuff that I made and just everything else. So check out all of these noise, what do you call them, thingies. Maybe I'll figure out what they're called later and I'll put that in text across the screen or something. But yeah, that's probably $100 worth of those right there alone. So that's the thing to think about. Like, I don't really want to sell this stuff because I've got all this other stuff. How am I going to sell all the crap, you know, like that is needed to function, to help all the devices function? Okay, well, anyways, I got to get back to work. Let's do that. Still thinking about going DAWless? All I can say is get ready to invest in a whole bunch of cabling. Pardon the air conditioner. I just wanted to capture all of these crates that are ready to go. These are the things that won't fit into crates. I'll just pop them in the back of the bed of the truck where they will be safe. And I'm hoping this is the new experiment. I hope that these are not too heavy. It's definitely going to take 2 people to carry each one of those unless you got a dolly. It is now Saturday the 18th. I'm just boxing up some last minute guitar pedals that didn't have their boxes. I did find some original boxes that were kind of sort of unlabeled. Whether or not I'm using the pedals that were in them originally or not, I don't know. I do want to point this out very quickly. These little really nice pink bubble wrap bags, I get these from Tata. These come with orders that you purchase, whatever, and they're just protective bags to keep your components safe in shipping. Here are some of the boxes that I've already, here are some of the guitar pedals that I've already boxed up into some of the nicer boxes that I have. So what's left now are these not so great cardboard boxes. So this morning I'm just going to spend the rest of my time drinking coffee and getting some of these guitar pedals boxed up. We have plenty to cart off already. I might be able to get one more bin of guitar pedals to go along with this load. Everything is very, very pink. Okay, I got a lot of pedals boxed up. Still have many, many more to go. I would say I got about half of them. And they're all in those bins over there, those 5 bins on the ground. We're good to go. Back at the house, everything has been safely dropped off at the new location, the new temporary location. We'll figure something out later. I still got a handful of things. I've still got all of my Midi stuff, which I want to carefully pack away because this stuff is very, very precious. Still got some Bassel stuff, Teenage Engineering and Bassel stuff, all of my sort of odds and ends. Still have quite a few guitar pedals left to work on, but for the most part, we're pretty good. I still got this whole stack right here, but pretty good so far. And I have my iWii still behind an amplifier, so I can still at least make some noise if I need to. What I want to do is set up some drums. It is now Sunday, November 19th, about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's been mostly a day of rest. I got my drums from my guitar player's house where we used to practice. Going to have to be moving on, they understand. And I'm going to set these up next. Going to clean them up a bit. Not going to do anything today. Just wanted to report in today happened. Today is Monday, November 20th. I've got the drums out. No idea what I'm going to do with them just yet. I've got too much work to do before I start playing. I did order a set of gun muffler headphones. What those do is they allow you to play drums, listen to music through the headphones, and you can actually hear the music at a reasonable volume without killing your ears, because when you play drums, that's how loud they are. I mean, sure, you can play soft, but it's not very fun to play soft. So I've decided to kind of leave the pedals and the Bassel and the pocket operator toys that are left behind and all this various stuff. Just going to leave it be for now, the next couple days, maybe even just for the rest of the week. I've ordered some boxes, ordered about 20 brand new guitar pedal boxes. They're sized specifically for guitar pedals. And it's funny because the boxes are pretty cheap, but the shipping cost more than the boxes. It's hilarious. Nonetheless, I got 20 more. We're going to get over here in a second. I've ordered some of these from this company before. They're really nice amplified parts. And these are the ones that I'm using for the pedals that I'm selling. These haven't sold yet. They're probably not going to sell anytime soon. Probably not until next year. That's okay. I didn't necessarily make them to have them sold so much as made them just to have it on my resume that, yes, I did this and they work and they're awesome. Anyways, what I'm going to focus on today is getting all of this taken down. This is my electronics repair station, lab station. I've got a lot of stuff to do. I've moved this before. It's not fun. I'm not excited about moving this stuff because it's so delicate. It's not like all my other gear where I can put it into a box, put them into bins, and throw them into storage, and they'll be fine for the most part as long as, they're reasonably kept safe from humidity and the other elements. This stuff, however, it's like, whoa, this is very delicate stuff. ICs, transistors, things that are susceptible to static electricity, and if they, get too much physical bumping and damaging, they'll not work anymore. So I have to be very careful. I'm going to pack up each one of these little trays very carefully so that when they get moved, they won't get shifted around. And I'm going to move this myself in my own vehicle, on the inside, not like in the back of a truck or a trailer or anything like that. But that's what I'm going to focus on next today, is start working on all of this. I've got to clean up all of this stuff too. It won't be so bad, but get all of these various measuring tools back in their boxes, which I still have. Same kind of thing. It is now Tuesday, November 21st. Today I'm going to focus on taking down the electronics lab station. I've made a lot of progress already, gotten all of the equipment boxed up and put away. Just need to go through and run through all of these individual components that I got lying out. I've got things ready to get bagged up, sorted. There's still a lot more to do. It's about 12:15 right now, just after noon, and I will be spending all day. See those compartment trays over there? I'm going to be going through all of those, all three, and make sure that everything is secure when it goes traveling on the road, so transistors and IC chips don't go bumping and bouncing around. It is now Wednesday, November 22nd, and not much has happened. It's about 12:30. I haven't done really anything since yesterday. It's been kind of an emotional day, to tell you the truth. Oh my goodness gracious. It started out really bad, but I think that I'm starting to see some light at the end of this tunnel. So that's some really good news. But what's crazy is that tomorrow is Thanksgiving, and our plans for Thanksgiving are just all over the place. I have no idea what I'm going to be doing tomorrow, so I'm playing it by ear. I've uploaded today's Noisevember jam. I've rendered tomorrow's and the next day's, and I think I've got the next 3 days rendered, because I'm also going to have to work on one of these days coming up, a long shift. So if I do temporarily go out of town for Thanksgiving, I want to upload some videos and just have them publish themselves on the right day. Kind of lame, I know, but I'm going to be out of town and I don't want to bring a laptop with me and try to do things that way. I'd rather travel light. Okay, so I think that today, I still need to get all this stuff packed up today. My plan is to leave for Thanksgiving tomorrow morning. Regardless on where I'm going to be going, I will be taking this stuff to its said location, and I'll either be staying there for the day and the night, or we'll be moving on to another city for the day and the night. It is now November 23rd, Thanksgiving, Thursday. Packing everything up. I'm going to get all of this to where it's going, and I'm going to spend Thanksgiving with my father today. We were going to go out of town, visit more relatives, but due to his recent hip surgery and his recovery, we're just going to stay at home and have Thanksgiving there. So I wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving, and I'll be back here tomorrow to do more stuff. It is now Friday, November 24th, and today is just going to be a day of rest. I have to work tomorrow. I have another family get-together on Sunday, which is why I didn't mind, the fact that I my father and I had to spend Thanksgiving kind of alone. It was okay. I went to Cracker Barrel and got a couple to-go Thanksgiving dinners, brought them back. They were really tasty, and it was actually a super easy experience for me to get in and get out. I was pretty shocked. Amazingly enough, Cracker Barrel and Shoney's were the only restaurants open in town. So I'm actually glad that a lot of people were closed down for Thanksgiving. That's important. So, here we are. Everything has mostly been moved out. I still have lots of guitar pedals to go through, various ends. That stuff back there should have gone with my electronics lab, but it got left behind. That's okay. It'll get moved next time. All this stuff over here needs to be sorted out and taken care of. I still have my $50 electronic drum set. And what I'm going to do today is I'm actually going to set up the drums right here so that I can practice when nobody's around. And I'm going to set up the electronic drums too, I think. But tomorrow, I'm going to focus on, it's an all-day work event tomorrow. We'll talk about that when that day comes along. Another thing I forgot to pack away was my current limiter for testing out guitar amplifiers and vacuum tube circuits. It is Saturday, November 25th, and I've just returned from working a full day, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. I'm going to bed. It is now Monday, November 27th. I skipped over November 26th. Basically, I did nothing yesterday. I just rested because I worked so crazy hard on Saturday. My goal today is to get all of this section packed up now. The drums, I put the drums away because I want to get just focused on moving out. I've got some rain coming in at the end of this week, so I think that's going to change my plans. I'm going to move to get out of here a little sooner than I really wanted to. That's okay. I just want to make sure that I can get everything out safely. What I want to show you is I ordered some of these really cool boxes. It's pretty crazy how this works out. These boxes came in this giant box, and it cost me more for shipping than the boxes themselves. But these are really, really nice boxes. I plan on buying some more when I move to my new location to handle all the other pedals that don't have boxes. So I'm going to use these boxes and fold them up and try to fit as many of these pedals into it as I can, the ones that I care about the most, prioritizing that way. And that's going to do it for the day. 26 down. I got about 23 more to go in those bins. I was able to clear out these two. These boxes are really nice. I only wish that I had ordered more. Making very good progress here. We already saw those, but I wanted to show you why not. I've got them all here. These are all the pedals that I have built and made pretty much from kind of scratch. Let's see. The three in the middle were from kits. This one over here was a kit. I built that one from scratch, that one from scratch, and this one kind of mostly from scratch. I just had the PCB and I sourced all the rest of the parts. I keep raving these pedals and trying to talk them up as much as I can. I know they look super cheesy, super cheap, but these are some of the most powerful pedals, more bang for the buck than you could ever imagine. And just let's not talk about them as multi-effects pedals for a second. Let's just talk about them as, right now you're looking at 5 individual drum machines and 5 individual loopers that, if you're skilled enough, you could synchronize them all up very easily. One more thing for the day. Let's quickly talk about transporting pocket operators safely. I had a problem one time transporting this particular little guy. You can see that black on the screen there. That's a permanent damage. I want to prevent that from happening from now on. So, I did have this in its original case, just like this one is. And by the way, this is my spare rhythm. It doesn't work. I purchased it for spare parts only. I plan on repairing the tonic has a broken button, and I plan on using one of the buttons from it to repair that. And I might be able to replace the screen. We'll see. I'll worry about that later. But in the meantime, I'm just going to try to wrap these in bubble wrap as best as I can and not stack anything on top of them. It is now Tuesday morning, November 28th. I was able to clear out the rack, the shelf, the desk, all this stuff. There's still a lot of stuff on here, but for the most part, guitar pedals have all been sorted, packed away. The bassels and the pocket operators have been packed away. And then what I need to do is to put them in these bins. And while we're here, this is where I was cutting the bubble wrap safely. What I need to focus on after all of that is clearing out the the bookshelf here. Some of the books have already been taken care of and they've been carted off. There's an Xbox down there. I'm going to test it, make sure everything's working. I've heard something about a capacitor that needs to be replaced. Maybe I can work on that come December or January. This is my PlayStation 3 and 4 and the Ouya, and I'm going to clear out this and pack it away, put the TV set away. That's pretty much what we're going to be working on for today. It is now Wednesday, November 29th, about 10 o'clock. Sonic State is airing 4 o'clock over there in London or wherever they are in the UK. I am getting ready to pack all the stuff up into my truck and drive it away. I still have a few more things to pack up. Take the next hour to do so while Sonic State is doing their show, and then I'll get out of here. I need to pack up all these cords and headphones. I'm going to leave behind, I will take that bookshelf, hopefully, and that bookshelf, but I'll leave behind the desk, the wireframe. I've got all my TV sets ready to go. I'm also going to take my drums. That is not a dead body. That is my, that is called the body bag, though. We always called it that notoriously. That's all of my hardware for my drum set. I need to buy a new gun bag for that. That one's starting to go. It's 25 years old now, 26, 27 years old. Moving on, looking pretty good. I've got the electronic drum set here. I'm going to grab the rack stand out from it and bring it along. Just pack the truck as much as I can, as safely as I can. I've got some straps over here. I've got a tarp if I need it. I won't need it. And we'll be back here for the afternoon to start packing up the rest of the stuff, and then I should be out of here within the next couple days. Welp, this was not able to make it along for the ride. These two large bins, the body bag, I probably could fit that in there somewhere, but I'm not going to worry about it. That's okay. I've technically got, I think, 6 more days to get out of here, but we should be able to get out of here in less than 4. It is now Thursday, November 30th, last day of Noisevember. I am finished with Noisevember, uploaded my last video today. This is what I have ahead of me. I want to get another load packed up and out of here in the next couple hours, and maybe just spend the rest of the day going over everything and just making sure I got everything where I want it. And then tomorrow, we're going to try to get everything out of here. So while every time we come back, there's always a mess in front of us, I hope that you've noticed it's a different mess. It's a bunch of different things getting ready to go through the next process, getting packed up and hauled off. I really wanted to take down all of this stuff first, just so that I would have some sort of visual progress. But that's okay. This has served well to put things on temporarily while I try to clean them and store them away. We're good to go. It is now about 2:30 on November 30th, Thursday. I just wanted to capture this moment. A lot of things have been taken out. I will probably now go ahead and take down this huge metal rack that I love so much. Maybe even fold up this table and some other things. That's that box of cardboard boxes started out, boxes were stacked all the way up to that cable mounted. Let's talk about that for a second. So as fate would have it, right when I found the perfect solution for putting my cables for the semi-modular jams, we're out of here. Friday, December 1st, the rain came in, so what I'm going to do is try to haul off some things that I don't care if they get wet in the back of my truck. I've got a tarp over there, a blue tarp. I'm going to continue shredding papers, and I'm going to get all of my clothes out of here. It is now Monday, December 4th. What is this, 29 days after I was evicted from this crappy little shithole of an apartment? Okay, so I'm really hoping to be out of here today, by this afternoon. Complete, done. Posters will be off the wall. All this stuff will be taken down, boxed away, ready to go. Check out the acoustics in this room. You remember when I was making videos in here before? You could not hear this slap back echo reverberation. And I guarantee you when I get all this stuff out of here and all these posters off the wall, we'll even hear some more, I'm sure. I had a lot of stuff in this room, and it really helped to prevent the sound from doing what it's doing now. Something to think about when you're doing your studio. And this was behind my Enter the Dragon movie poster. Not sure exactly what happened here. I don't think it got stuck by tape. There's actually web around it, and it looks like its body was eaten. Okay, let's talk power for a quick second. I only had 2 grounded outlets in this entire apartment. One in the kitchen and one in the bathroom. So what I did here in the kitchen is I used one of these little thingamajobby things, and I have 2 extension cords running across stuff so that they don't get wet. And I realized, it's not great coming from a kitchen sink, but what are you going to do? Then from here, we had one going across over here to where the computer stuff was, and then the other one across this stupid closet door, useless closet, waste of space, around to here, and then this serviced everything. So if you notice, I have an outlet over here. I've also got another outlet over here that I'm sort of currently using, and I was using that outlet for the electronic station. And even though they have that 3rd prong, these are ungrounded outlets. So I only use this particular outlet for strictly DC circuits that I knew were not going to incorporate some sort of horrible voltage spike from a lightning strike or something like that. Things that, I didn't really quite care as much about. But everything else was totally grounded. Really getting close to being done. It's 2:40, mostly ready to go. There's the old vehicle. Just got these odds and ends. Just need to sort of collect them together. And I think I can fit all the rest of this in my truck. I'm not so sure about the desk right here, though. I'm going to get back to watching James Lindsay.
They are forcing it into medicine. This is medical Lysenkoism.
Question. Is that an ambulance? Is that a police car? Is that a fire truck? It's important to know your sounds. If I had to guess, I think that's a police car. An ambulance is a little more longer, and a fire truck is even longer. But okay, check this out. Remember what I said? There's my iMac, safely tucked away with all kinds of bubble wrap and protective bubbly air bubble stuffs. Awesome. So that's it. We're out of here. Goodbye to this place. 2.5 years. Not really sure what to say. It was a love-hate relationship. And that's that. And literally right back where I started. Pardon all the noise down here. I've got that dehumidifier going. There's a washing machine and dryer over there going. There's also a big air conditioner right behind me that's going to kick on any minute now. We can also hear the water heater making a bunch of noise. So despite all of that, I was actually using this location as the very first place that I started in 2018. And when I came back here in 2019, 20, 21, finally took off to where I was just now, and everything is right here. I think what I'm going to do next is actually get this stuff out of here, put it into storage. What I had going before was, we'll start over here, like the studio, sort of like the line of demarcation started across here and went across there up to that ceiling fan, and I was pretty much locked into this little area right here. It was okay, not so bad, but the problem is, you know, we've got like a whole living space over here. There's just so much noise down here, it's unreal. Can't really deal with it very well. So I think the idea, unfortunately, is we're not going to set up shop down here. We're going to instead get all this stuff into another storage unit, and I don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to hit the road and go somewhere else. I'll either stay in Tennessee or I'll move to another state. Probably going to move to another state, and I'll figure out what my job's going to be there, work for a while, find a place to live, and when the time's right, get all this stuff moved to where I am then.